Okay, so I've had, ever since I decided, like when I came home today, I was like, okay, I need to do today's channeled message, like channeled reading for the collective. I've had How Do You Sleep by Sam Smith in my head. Did you guys see that? Okay, I'm taking that. Ace of Pentacles. I don't know if that's related, but that just could be a sign for some of you. So I'm just letting that be what it is. It doesn't have to be related to the contents of this reading. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Let's see. Crazy chaotic energies today, guys. Lots of like mixed emotions, mixed feelings, high energy. Chaotic, but it's high energy. 9 of Wands. Specifically, How Do You Sleep? The song that just over and over and over again, it's just the how do you sleep when you lie to me? That's it. Not even the rest of the like lyrics or anything. So I don't know if it's just like you've been lied to, someone around you is thinking or feeling like, how does like someone else sleep when they've lied to the person you're connected to, or you're thinking this about, like that's the energy about something specific to you. It could just be a sign or confirmation. Maybe you've been listening to that song. Maybe that song will be a sign. Like if you come across that song or hear that song, it could be like a confirmation that like this is when this is coming in, or when this reading will be relevant to you. So 6 of Cups there. So Ace of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 6 of Cups. Some of you haven't given up on a childhood dream or a childhood goal or interest. Something to do with your interests from childhood here. Some of you really have been holding out hope for this. And because like, or some of you have still held on to something that has been important to you since childhood. And I'm really getting this message is about being able to, I'm hearing, make manifest those childhood dreams, those childhood goals, those childhood endeavors that some of you had hoped to do or embark on. And an opportunity to do that is coming through. Is coming through for you. Or you're being asked not to give up on these childhood or these inner, like these things, these dreams, these goals, these aspirations that your inner child has. You're being asked not to give up on them because an opportunity is coming through. I'm hearing on the tail end of this eclipse that we just had. So between now and the next eclipse, or between now and the end of eclipse season this year, is when things are really going to start to show up for you in relation to this inner child. Tell me more about the 6 of Cups. I didn't feel compelled to take those. Ten of Swords, 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Cups, whatever this is, that I feel like as a whole, there's lots of healing going on for you around your inner child's story. Okay? Stay with me here, because the 10 of Swords and the 6 of Pentacles, it's like you haven't been shown a lot of generosity in your life, and there was a significant lack of that generosity in your childhood. I'm getting that you have been bogged down by all sorts of burdens, not just responsibility, but like the burden of rejection, the burden of, this is interesting. I had this like realization or this mini epiphany on the way home from work today when I was driving, like like when did we start caring about rejection? Or like I understand that like feeling the feelings associated with rejection or not, or you know, not being accepted is a normal like response, emotional response. But when did we start to become so hyper vigilant due to the betrayal, the pain around that? It started in our childhood, but like what was that? And I was asking myself, like, what is that? What was that for me? When did that begin? When did I start to care about, you know, whether people found me annoying, whether people found me too loud, too much, too this, too that? And when did I start walking on eggshells with myself? There's a lot about there's a lot of opportunity for you to really integrate this for you. I'm hearing this week. I keep going to say there's an opportunity this week. Maybe you're going to be shown where you have been holding yourself back because that's just what you've always done. Somewhere along the way in your life, right, you learnt, due to the lack of generosity and the pain that others caused you, right, you learnt to be hyper vigilant to the things that made you different, the things that made you weird, annoying, the things that people disliked about you. And you might be asking yourself this week, like, who told me that I have to care? There's a lot this week and last week about like just the expectations that you have put on yourself because of your surroundings growing up, because of the society that you grew up in, like culturally, like cultural things, just things that like, you know, behaviors that you had modeled for you. Like maybe you witnessed your parents or a guardian or a parental figure care a lot about what other people thought, and that behavior impacted you and influenced you, and then that's just how it was. I think for me that's true. But there's a lot about releasing the need to care. You were never hurting anyone with your interests as a kid. You were never hurting anyone when you were being over the top and excited because you were happy, you were joyful. And the fact that you annoyed people, whether it be your friends or your family, like people older than you, the fact that annoyed people, that should never have been made your problem. That should never have been given to you. That should never have been shared with you. And I think now you're able to sort of clock that, or maybe you're able to sort of clock that that's not something that you need to continue to carry, and you're realizing that you have been carrying that. And it's very different to knowing that, like, oh, I shouldn't care what people think about me. I shouldn't care that people think I'm annoying, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that you still were carrying that, you still were knowing, you still were being hypervigilant to yourself, you still were walking on eggshells around other people because of this being shared with you from a very young age. You're realizing, even though I know this to be true, I am still doing that. And you're realizing no more. If you're watching on TikTok, head to part 2. Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, this is something that has been like, you've been This is something that you've been carrying with you for a long time. Knight of Pentacles talks about like commitment. It talks about longevity. It talks about, they say in tarot that the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, right? So to me, in this context, this is telling me that the Knight of Pentacles is saying like, you've been operating this way for a very, very, very long time. For a very long time. And I think that this really is a reclamation of your younger self, of your inner child. And even just saying that, like, there's a lot of like inner child talks. There's a lot of, inner child work, things like that. We all know about inner child work and healing our inner child, but what does that actually look like? And I think this week is really an opportunity for you to reclaim that part of yourself, that part of your inner child, through your awareness of this pattern or of carrying this way of operating, of this way of being. Through this awareness, you're able to release that, or you're able to let that go. And it's giving the opportunity to really embrace independence. And when I say really like embrace independence in this context, it's embracing independence by owning that part of yourself, accepting that part of yourself, and welcoming the parts of yourself that you have constantly been hypervigilant to. Whether it's being, am I being too dramatic? Am I being perceived as too dramatic? Am I being too loud? Am I being too obnoxious? Am I being too annoying? Am I being too much of this, too much of that? And the reason that this is so important is because when you were perceived that way as a child, when others would like share with you that, oh, you're annoying me, like you're being so annoying, like, oh, can you not do that? Can you keep it down? Like, it's always when you were happy and excited, when you were just being a kid, man. You were just being a fucking kid. And it's through those moments of like, whether parents or like your friends around, like it could even be like a look of like, why are you carrying on like that? Being told you're carrying on when you're just expressing your joy. This is a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you that are going to be resonating with this message. You are neurodivergent, or you suspect that you're neurodivergent. Maybe you're researching that, getting into learning about yourself in that way. It's my experience. I'm ADHD and I have autism, and I didn't know that for a very long time until about 2 years ago. So this is linked to that, not. And then this comes into masking as well, which is it's a whole other subject, but I feel like for the most part, this is unmasking for you. And I think the first important step of this is being able to reclaim and take ownership and be completely independent from what you have been taught is inadvertently taught, right? So some of you make like a lot of the time, like it could have been, but a lot of the time this is like other people just projecting their annoyance onto you. Like they're annoyed by your reaction. They're annoyed by a kid just having fun and being joyful, and it's okay, to tell your child, keep it down. You're being a bit too loud. Like someone's asleep in the next room. But it's the way that it was said. The way that it was expressed. Like, okay, you don't, like, why you don't need to laugh. Like for me, it was about my laugh. Like I wouldn't say I'm self-conscious of my laugh, but I have this awareness that my laugh is annoying, that my laugh is dramatic or over the top, or, I have this awareness of, as a kid, being perceived, like my laugh being perceived as like, okay, like adults around me would be like, okay, like kind of like you're taking the piss, like you don't need to be acting like that. Like I would be perceived as acting or putting it on, simply just for expressing my joy or my happiness or my excitement or my humor. in the moment. And there's the awareness of this is like taking responsibility for now moving forward, that dropping the need to care about how you are perceived in general. As I said, it's one thing to know it. It's a completely other thing to realize that you have been limiting yourself or holding yourself back. So this week there's a huge opportunity. And I think too, what I said in the beginning, going back to like childhood dreams, revisiting childhood dreams, revisiting the space that you were in as a child when this energy started to come in. Okay, that's going to be really important. So that's why I feel like a lot of you are really going to be getting in touch with things that you really loved to do. I feel like things that you really loved to do or enjoyed doing in your like spare time as a kid, what brought you a lot of happiness and joy as a kid, is actually what a lot of you are destined to do. And you will still get a lot of joy out of that. And the opportunity here is to completely own that. And this is where it comes into like reclaiming that inner child. By revisiting that inner child and revisiting the version of you that was put into this energy, right? When you first realized that your natural behaviors were frowned upon, were policed, people were embarrassed of, like whatever the story is, right? By you completely immersing yourself back into that version of you by doing the things that you loved doing as a kid, allows you to express that energy in a way where you can own that now. You can take responsibility back for that, and you're releasing like subconscious shame. Yeah, strength. There's something about like taming, releasing the need to tame yourself. Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck there. Some of you, there's strong Leo energy here. Some of you could be a fire sign, or just look to where you have Leo in your chart, or where you have strong Leo placements, or just any fire placements in your chart. This is where you tend to sort of like, this is the energy that you need to go into. And it's funny that I'm saying this because I have my sun in the 5th house, which is the inner child, the child energy. So it's part of my purpose. It's part of your guys' purpose to, like, this is, you guys are at a huge pivot point. This is like monumental change about to happen. As soon as you do this or realize this, the way that it will come about will be different for each of you. But you're really walking in, like I'm seeing you opening a door, and as you're going through this door, some of you, Alice in Wonderland is relevant, but as you walk through this door, right, you're going to start to realize all the ways in which you have subconsciously been taught or influenced to try and tame yourself, and the shame that you have around your natural reactions, your natural thoughts, feelings to things. And some of you are really going to be pushed in the direction of revisiting things that you used to love to do as a kid. A lot of you, this is like huge. This is your secret to success. This is your key. This is the missing puzzle piece. If you're watching on TikTok, head to part 3. We're going to keep going. The Tower. Yeah, this, as I was saying, like the intensity of this message was coming through as this flipped out, and I can see we've got the Ace of Wands here as well. So like there is like, this is happening now. This is happening this week. This is happening this week. This is happening now. This is like huge monumental change, guys. Like I can't I know as tarot readers, we all get on here and we all say like, guys, like this is serious, like this is huge energy coming in. But like if this is resonating with you, you will understand the depth of this, because it feels like if you're having this realization, and as I'm having this realization, and you're like, I see how this is all linking. Like over the past 9 months, you've been guided towards embarking on a journey of creating, or just even, it could be as simple as rediscovering things that you used to love to do as a child. The reason that that's so important is not only because of this reclamation, right? Because of you're reclaiming this piece of you who was taught to care what other people think of you, so that you're not rejected, or so that you're accepted. But once you are able to start practicing, once you're able to start reclaiming this through these childhood things that you used to love to do, you're presenting yourself with this reclaimed power, with this reclaimed energy. Therefore, that's going to be received by everyone that you come into contact with. Right? And then this is where the success comes in, because this is what makes you special. This was like the missing ingredient I'm hearing. You were doing the right things. You had the right, you had all of the tools, but one ingredient, missing ingredient, and you couldn't figure out. You're like, I'm following all the steps. Why doesn't it taste right? It looks perfect. Why aren't people liking it? Why aren't people finding me? Why aren't I being noticed? Because you're not, you weren't able to be fully visible. You weren't allowing yourself to be fully visible, because you weren't even visible to this piece of you. The crucial missing ingredient is you, your essence. Your essence. Without it, it looks right. It's like AI videos. You know what the video, like what it is that you're looking at, but something's off. Something's just not quite right about it. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Something's not quite right, and it's the fact that this missing ingredient was you, your essence. And you really were exhausted of this. You were like, you may have been witnessing other people that you were inspired by. You're like, I can do that. I want to do that. I'm really called to do this. I'm really called to this career. I'm really called to create and have this career and monetize this, or whatever it is for you. And you're like, I'm doing all the right things. I'm well informed. I have all the answers. I have all the equipment, all the tools. I have the skills. I've been putting myself out there, but it's not working. I'm not gaining traction. I'm not being picked up. No one's noticing me the way that they're noticing other people. And it's because you're not allowing yourself to be visible. Not on purpose. It's just that this hadn't occurred to you yet. It hadn't occurred to you yet. And yeah, it has been making you like super like just exhausted and just yeah, you were coming from a place of authenticity, but you weren't fully able to embrace your most authentic self yet, because you were missing that essence, the essence of you. Now that you know what the missing ingredient is, the secret, the Krabby Patty formula, right, is your essence. Now that you know, you have this awareness and perspective, you can go into these things fully accepting yourself. And you may start over the next coming weeks, now that when you're implementing this, you may start realizing, because you have this new perspective, right? You may start realizing all the ways in which you've, like a robot, being taught to, I'm hearing subdued, being taught to subdue yourself. And you had no idea that you were subduing yourself. You didn't. You don't know what you don't know, but you just didn't know. You weren't aware. 7 of Wands. Yeah, it's almost like your audience, your viewers, your clients, the people that you were trying to reach, the community that you were trying to build, or whatever the Six of Cups is, whatever the thing that you're trying to build or create is, you weren't you're relatable, but because this essence, right? This essence was missing or lost. I'm channeling, like, I have to refresh myself on, like, Peter Pan. And I used to love Peter Pan as a kid. Like, I was obsessed with Peter Pan. That was my shit. But for some reason, I don't really have much memory of the movie, which is crazy to me because that's, like, part of my lore. But something about Tinkerbell's light going out and needing to get her alive again. I'm seeing her, like like, what's it? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? The scene where she's like, her light is dying or going out. Okay? It's like that. Disney Dreamlight Valley could be a sign for some of you as well. That's something that I've been really, like, loving playing recently too, and part of the storyline where I was up to. I don't know if you guys play it. It's really interesting, the parallels, but, like, when your character is trying to sort of, like, get the forgotten back on board, you're reclaiming, it's like you are the forgotten. You have forgotten. Oh my God, that's, first of all, crazy. You are, like, this essence is the forgotten in Disney Dreamlight Valley. And the reasons that the forgotten became that way are very, very similar to what I've been explaining here. It's this energy. It's lack of generosity, lack of understanding, lack of reciprocity, and the burden of people projecting their annoyance or their discomfort onto you, their reactions, which, quite frankly, isn't any of your business. It's not your responsibility as a child to manage how you make other people around you feel. That's not normal or fair. But it hasn't been working because your essence was missing. So what I was trying to get at with this is, you weren't reachable. And it is a protective mechanism. Oh my God. Subduing yourself was protection from rejection, from pain, from this type of energy, 10 of Swords, from other people. It was protection. So it was a coping mechanism. It's long overdue. This has not been serving you anymore. There's no more threat. There's nothing more to be protected from. It's just actually holding you back from what it is you're wanting. This is your answer. This is why things haven't been working. You weren't reachable to other people, to your clients. You weren't viewable. You weren't reachable. You weren't tangible. You weren't yet tangible enough for them. How can they see you when you haven't been able to see yourself fully? Just a ghost of you. This is making so much sense. It's crazy. Like, this is so deeply profound. So deeply profound. This week, that's what this is all about. And whether what I'm saying has, like, completely resonated yet with you or not, this week, like, that door will appear and you will find yourself walking through it, and then you go, oh, that's what Kim was saying. It's starting to make sense now. Or it may just be making sense to you already. 6 of Swords. Okay, you're moving on from this. You're leaving it behind. You're starting a new chapter, a new journey. If you're watching on TikTok, head to part 3. This message is so clear. So damn clear. Yeah, the Fool. You're starting a new journey. Walking a new path. And look at how different, right? These two are very different but same energy, right? Moving on to calmer waters. This is like the innocence, the childlike innocence of like just starting something new. Being in that Six of Cups energy. Well, not the nostalgia of it, right? But the essence. This is the essence. This is where you are now. You're trying to... You've let go of everything that's been holding you back now. Like I see you actually moving forward. And through this reclamation of your essence, of your inner self, of your inner child, just through having this awareness now, this realization, you're able to have a new beginning. That's crazy. You're able to have a new beginning. One that is heart-centered. There's lots about essence here. Essence. And it's like over the heart. It's like the essence of you. The essence. There's nothing holding you back now. There isn't. You're free. I want to look at steps to reclamation. Okay, 8 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. I don't think this is part of the question I was going to ask. I need to ask that again. But this is just reiterating that you're moving away from like focusing on what isn't working. Why is this not working? Because you're able to have this new perspective now of like, oh, it wasn't working because I wasn't ready yet. The reason why it wasn't working, the reason why it couldn't have worked up until now is because the way in which that you were trying to or hoping to create or build whatever it is, right? It's too pure of heart. It's too, there's too much longevity to it. There's too much possibility for success for it to just be a short burst, like short-lived fame, short-lived success, right? This is something for the long term. So it needs your essence. It needs it. And that's why I couldn't work till now. Because the recipe for what it is that you're wanting to build, you didn't have all the ingredients. You didn't have the right ingredient. It was missing something, but you didn't know that you were missing it. So up until now, it just looked like things weren't working. Why weren't they working? And you weren't doing anything wrong. You just didn't have an awareness that you needed to reclaim this part of you. So how to reclaim this part of you is 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, and the High Priestess. Okay. Continue making, continue creating, continue connecting. And I want you, as you're doing this, I want you to really, really, really do it with the intention of tapping into joy, fun, celebration. If it isn't there, I want you to look at 2 things. I want you to look at, is this something that you actually enjoy? Are you trying to force it because of X, Y, and Z? Is it a pressure thing? Do you think that you should be enjoying it? Or are you not really feeling this entire energy of the 4 of Wands because you're blocked to the true joy of it because of subduing yourself all your life? Maybe you don't know. Maybe the answer is, I'm not sure. But you will, I'm getting the fact that like you will know which one it is. Do I actually enjoy this? Am I enjoying myself as I'm doing this? Yeah, okay, yeah, I like what I'm doing. But why isn't any joy present? Well, I either don't actually enjoy what I'm doing, which you would know because you wouldn't want to do it if that's the case. So if it's not that, and you're like, yeah, I don't mind doing this. Like, I want to do this. I want to feel, I like what I'm doing, but I don't feel the joy when I'm doing it. And it's because you need to figure out how to unblock the ways in which you have been subdued. But you will know what the answer is. You will know whether it's, hey, I'm actually doing this thinking that I enjoy it when I actually don't. Or, gee, I do enjoy this, but why aren't I feeling this sense of joy, this sense of peace, this sense of excitement and fun? Why doesn't it feel fun? And it's because of that subduing. So if it is that, right, Spirit, how can we, the collective, pull ourselves into this Four of Wands energy to really feel it? Three of Wands. What do we have to do to really feel it? I'm really getting this sense of like, what are you waiting for? What are you hoping for? Asking yourself your why. If you're, say for example, it's like playing a game. If you're not in this flow state of feeling the true depth of fun and excitement and enjoyment that you are wanting to get from it, or that you maybe used to get from it, ask yourself in that moment, why are you doing it in that moment? What is it for? Are you doing it because you feel like you want to do it? Or are you doing it with the intention of something that you think you have to have or think you have to do? I don't know if I'm doing that, if I'm explaining that correctly. Like, what are you hoping to get out of it right now, in that moment? The Star. Are you engaging in this activity, right, from a place of wonder, from a place of independence and autonomy? What do you want to do? What do you want to get out of it? Why do you do anything that is joyful? Because it feels good. And if it's not feeling good, we need to figure out what doesn't feel good about it. Why can't you tap into that joy and excitement? Why aren't you having fun? Are you not having fun because of your expectations? Yeah, okay, expectations. Thank you, Spirit. So this Three of Wands is a card about like waiting for your ships to come in, okay? Looking onto the horizon. This is about expectations. What are you expecting? What are you expecting? What is it that you're waiting for? Because hearing the thief of joy is expectation. I don't know if that's an actual saying or if I'm just making that up. I don't know if like the actual thief of joy phrase is different to that. I'll have to look it up. Yeah, Three of Cups, Four of Cups, right? The Emperor. Check your expectations. When you're not in this feeling of joy, check your expectations. Perhaps you have expectations. Your expectations might not even be related to like, oh, I'm expecting to have so much fun while I'm playing this game. It might be you have expectations about something completely unrelated. But when you're a kid, right, you don't have expectations when you're playing. When you're engaged in an activity and you're doing something that you love and enjoy and you're having fun and you're having a blast, you're not expecting anything. You're just doing what feels good. So if you're doing something that you think or that you're expecting or that you know makes you feel good usually, but you're not getting that feel good feeling, check your expectations. And it's going to be different for each of you. Ten of Pentacles. This is how you build what it is you're trying to build. This is how you build a career from it. This is how you build on it. This is how you build your life, either from it, around it. This doesn't even have to be something that you are like building a career from, right? The Six of Cups energy, what it is that the activities that you're doing that are helping you reclaim this essence, this inner child essence, right? It could be something completely unrelated. But this Ten of Pentacles is talking about your ultimate life. The life that you are wanting to live. That is like your ultimate dream life, right? That is how you do it. Through reclaiming. So this really is the way that you are reclaiming, or that you are being guided to reclaim this inner child essence that you have abandoned, really, or learnt to abandon, or learnt to subdue, is by continuing to engage, connect, create those things that you loved to do as a child. Even if it means going into your garage, going into your attic, pulling out that tub of Barbies or Bratz dolls or any, like, I mean it. Even if it means, just for the sake of an experiment of doing this, that you sit there and you play with those dolls, or you pull out that PlayStation 2 and you play those nostalgic games, whatever this is for you. Even if it means doing that, just to reclaim that part of you, right? You do the damn thing. Three of Pentacles is about collaboration, so it could involve other people, but this is really a working on something, putting in work to do something, to create something, to build something. You're being asked to do that, to reclaim that joy, that childlike joy, that childlike essence that you have learned to subdue. And if it's not happening, check your expectations. That is how you create your dream life. The particulars are dependent upon you. Some of you, this is something like you're wanting to create a career out of this, and you've tried and it hasn't worked out. Now we know why. Others of you have just felt this lack of lust for life, or this lack of luster in your life. Throat chakra blockages. My throat is croaky and it never is. So this is about, this is reclaiming truth for you. But this is how you do it. This is your recipe. Now you know what the missing ingredient is. You go, oh, well, this new ingredient, now I have to rework the entire recipe. You need to reassess how you're going to incorporate this new concept. That's what reclamation is in this context. You're reclaiming your childhood essence, your inner child essence, your the childlike joy. This is huge. This is a huge transformation that is on your path, part of your journey. This is how you reclaim. It's how you shift. This is how you evolve. This is part of your personal evolution, I'm hearing. So now you're engaging with your activities and things that, whatever brought you joy as a child, in a new way. And you may have never stopped. but you're no longer dictating how you engage. You're no longer dictating how much fun you have. You're just letting it be what it is. You're not putting expectations on it. You're not putting restrictions on it. And you're not dictating anything other than you're engaging with these things with a new perspective and a newfound awareness. And a newfound awareness. And this is the missing piece. Yeah, Knight of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Wish is coming true. Seeing things from a new perspective with the Hanged Man here. Two of Cups underneath that. They came out very early in the reading, and I put them back because it didn't feel like the right time to pull them out. But you're reconnecting. This is also allowing you to reach a deeper level of love within yourself, so that you can connect with other people in a depth that was not available to you before because of this piece of you. Your essence was subdued. It's going to change everything for you. This is going to change everything for you. Not only just for this childhood dream. You're evolving in so many ways. You're no longer subduing yourself. Yes, you're getting the career success. You're creating a life that you love, a life that you wish, and you're evolving. But you are, there are so many doors and so many opportunities now that are open to you through reclaiming this essence. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this message helped. I'm really excited for you guys. Let me know down below if this resonated at all. This is huge, 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 huge energy.